Hey guys, I'm Heintje, and about a year ago Bikepark Mook opened. A couple of jump lines inspired by the flow lines in all the famous bike parks around the world, and something unique for the Netherlands. Now after being closed for 3 months, the park is finally open again and it has gotten some huge upgrades. So let's not waste any time, roll the intro and drop right in. Before I show the brand new line, let's warm up on the easy line. I suggest you watch the whole video. Besides the brand new line, the old lines have gotten updates as well. But if you really want to see the new line, feel free to use the chapter system to skip ahead. The first notable difference is the grading of this line. Where it used to be blue, now it's rated red. A bit overrated if you ask me, but since this park is also part of a cross-country lab, it might make sense to scare off the XC riders. The first section of this line that really changed is this straight. Now it has 3 jumps in a row, a bit too small for me, but perfect for beginners to get into jumping. Just be careful with the turn after. The corners on this line are still pretty hard. 180-degree turns just make it tricky to look ahead. Next section I have to highlight, the ending. A nice double followed up by another double. What makes this interesting is that you have the option to triple the last jump, something I didn't manage to do so far. Again, be careful with the turn after. If you jump both doubles, you gain quite a bit of speed for a very tight corner. I've already seen some people go over the berm and crash. So far the easy line. It still ends up with the drops that have not changed at all. Fortunately, you can skip the drops and go back to the top. Next step of progression is, of course, to go to the medium line, the old hard line. Even though it's still rated black, everything on this line is rollable. First notable change is a well needed one. Let me show you how it used to be. We had a small table jump, followed up by a pretty big double. Separately, 2 nice features, only they did not combine well. After the update, it's a lot better. Now the double is gone and has been replaced with a table. This table even has an optional lip, but more on that later in the video. At the third feature of this line you have to choose. A table on the left to continue the medium line, or a gap jump on the right to enter the new domain. The rest of this line has received a couple of small changes, so while I show the rest of the run, let me convince you to hit that subscribe button, or at least give it a try. Every time that someone subscribes, it tells me that that person wants me to keep making these videos, so I do. If you like my videos and want to see more of them in the future, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel. Now, before I finally address the new stuff, let me go back a bit and spotlight this feature. The big table in the line now has a second lip. If it wasn't big enough for you, now you can take a 3 meter longer option. This is definitely something I'll make a project out of in the future. This day, however, I used all my energy on the new features. Speaking of which, as we've seen before, this line starts with a gap jump. But before you get there, as promised, the table with the small extra lip. Throughout the day I tried both options. In my experience, the steeper lip gives you more height, landing a bit rougher, losing you some speed. If you go for the medium line, this option is fine. If you intend to hit the gap jump, however, you can surely use the extra speed, saving you a bit of energy on the gap jump, energy you sure need in the upcoming sections. After checking out the gap jump on foot and the follow-up features as well, it was time to go for it. To make it a bit easier for me, this loyal subscriber, whose name I forgot, was giving me a tow in. This even gave me enough confidence to go for the wooden drop as well. This gap jump feels so good. Actually, this line of 3 just works. Each jump a bit bigger. Yeah, you have to work to clear them, but you don't have to be a jumping specialist. Now you could ride past the gap jump and enter the line that way, something I absolutely don't recommend. If you can't jump that gap, you probably can drop off the wooden platform and get stuck there. About the drop platform, a bit of energy you saved earlier you can use here. The approach is uphill and you need some speed to safely make it down. Here you, once again, have 2 options. The one on the right is a bit more forgiving, a bit more caseable. In order to stand the chance clearing the next jump, you need to land this drop in the sweet spot, however. Again, if you want any chance to clear the next jump, you must land this one perfectly as well. So for now, let's not opt for the big air, but go for the rock garden on the right. From here, the line gets easier, in a way that now everything is rollable, no more features that require a certain speed. You do get 2 optional shark fin gap jumps, 2 jumps that look easy, but let me tell you straight away, I did not find the confidence to commit to them. Something just didn't click. Only downside of not jumping those is, I enter the next turns from a terrible angle, so in one of my upcoming sessions I might want to work on those. Now let's complete the line. After 2 flowy double, all that's left is another rock garden. This one has a few line options, most of them feel okay, I'm not sure I found the best line yet. Again, something worth a small session. Now, with the first showcase of the new edition done, let me introduce fellow YouTuber Charles. Here in Mook it's quite easy to call yourself a tree dodger, but go check out his channel, he's also very able to dodge trees on gnarly enduro trails. Back to the top and time to check out a whale tail. In my case a scouting run. This feature starts with a very easy hop on. I know the edge looks scary, but trust me, this option is easier than clearing the drop right next to it. You can take the second jump of this feature in 2 ways. You can slow down a bit and almost dead drop off the wood, as Charlie is showing here. The other option is to go big. Put in a couple of cranks and aim for the landing. Both options are fine, you just don't want to land on the flat part between those options. So of course, as I often do, I first get the worst possible landing spot. This might sound stupid, but when you think about it, from this point it can only get better. And my second try was already a lot better. Distance-wise I cleared the jump, only landing a bit real heavy. Not even realizing Charles was behind me, following my lead. Next run I got to land it clean, so now there's only one more segment to go for. The big step up hip jump and what comes after. Time for Mr. Tree Dodger to give me a lead in. Since we both cased a small bridge jump, there was no chance of clearing the big one. Thankfully they also made a bridge in this jump. This jump is followed up immediately by a gap jump. This one is pretty easy. In order to get there you must have done the drop a few features back. So you should have the skill, and if you let your bike roll from the top of the landing, you'll be fine. Now there's one more jump in this segment before the lines merge again. This one is my favorite kind of jump, a gap jump with the case pad, and once again showing the power of a toe in. I hadn't really checked out this jump, following Charles gave me enough confidence to go for it, although I did fully utilize the case pad. At this point in the day I already had done a lot of runs and was getting pretty tired. Still, I had some energy left to give this one a couple of more tries. At least so I thought. Next runs were better distance wise, but I had issues finding the right angle. First I went a scary amount to the inside, and after that I did nail the landing, only to find myself in a line that made the next turns impossible. Let's combine those 2 runs. The inside line of the first and the distance of the second. This is how it went.
So,
did I say earlier that you just have to roll down the step up and not hit your brakes? Well, I did, and this is why you shouldn't.
Oh, fuck.
The thing that went wrong. You should hit the step up from left to right. Unfortunately, I started already on the right side, meaning I had to go to the left to not miss the bridge. At this point I almost went on the wrong side of the landing, what in hindsight was the better option. Too bad in the moment I hit the brakes in order to stay on track, only to then realize the next feature is a gap jump. All I could do now was to lift my front wheel and have the worst case of my life, hitting the saddle in a very uncomfortable way, but staying on my bike.
So,
at this point it was clear, time to call it a day and go home. Before I end the video however, let me give you my opinion on the updated Bikepark Mook. In my previous video I asked if Mook was the new best bike park in the Netherlands. The sense in the comments back then was that it was a fun addition to the Dutch mountain bike scene and definitely a step in the right direction, only it felt a bit too easy and the variation was very limited. Now after the update I'm gonna ask the same question. Is Bikepark Mook the best Dutch bike park? The sections in the old lines that didn't flow very well are now fixed, and with the new line there's a lot more variation. Hip jumps, shark fins, gaps, even rock gardens and a whale tail. The difficulty has also gone up a lot. As you could have seen throughout the video, there are a lot of features I still have to work on. Also in the easier lines there are now features that are interesting for the more experienced riders. The park does have a few issues though. Unfortunately nothing the builders can easily solve. First, this park is very sensible to wind, so better check the weather forecast before a visit. And second, the hill isn't very steep. This makes the climb nice and mellow, only it means you really have to work to clear the jumps on your way down. Good for your skill, not so much for your energy level. Maybe the e-bike isn't the best bike for this park. You have to pedal quite a lot and everything is above the cutoff point of 25 km an hour. So in the future I will give my hardtail a try, see how that feels. So again, what do you think? Is Bikepark Mook the best bike park in the Netherlands? Please let me know in the comments down below. With that, I've come to the end of the video. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more motorbike content, go check out 3Dodger Charles. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. All I've left to say is that I hope to see you back for my next video. Wish you fun riding in the meantime, and of course, houdoe.